So in our last lesson, we talked about this wedding. And of course, we talked about the people in the wedding. We talked about the bride, Diana. We didn't talk a lot about Diana. We just said that she's Naomi's best friend. And we talked about Rupert, who has the successful bar, and he's Jake's best friend. We talked about Eric, who's married to Naomi.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam. Hi. How are you today?
Good, alhamdulillah.
Okay, good. That's good to hear. So we also talked about Harriet. Harriet is Jake and Charlie's aunt. Their rich aunt, so we talked about her. Patrick, his great uncle, we also talked about him. So this was in our last lesson, and we also learned how to talk about relationships. Some of the relationships are family relationships. For example, uncles, aunts, nieces, nephews, cousins, all of these are family relationships. But we also have other non-family relationships. For example, colleague, employee, employer, neighbor. So these are relationships, but they're not related to our families. So we talked about that. And after that, we discussed the superlative, how to use superlatives in this exercise. This was the listening. Number 4 was the listening. Here in number 8, this was the exercise where we talked about superlatives, and we talked about the. Who can remind me, when do we use the and when don't we use the? Who can remember? Do we use it all the time or not all the time? Or who can remind me?
Not all the time.
Correct. Okay. But when?
If there is S.
Okay. Possessive S. Yeah. If there's S.
We don't use the.
Correct. This is one of the situations, right, Rush? If we have possessive S, no the. And there's another Samiha, what is it?
Also, if there is a possessive pronoun, my
Correct.
or our.
That's right. You mean a possessive adjective, correct? If there's yes, if there's a possessive adjective, we don't use it. All right, that's correct. So we talked about this and we did some exercises. We finished number 8, and we're going to talk about today's topic. So let me show you today's topic. So in today's topic, I think we can skip this. We also talked about this. I told you what it's about, but we didn't start, of course. We just talked about, we discussed the idea of soap operas. We talked about what are soap operas, and I also got some of your answers that a lot of you like soap operas, I think, and they're quite popular here in Libya. Many people like soap operas. But now, I don't know if we got to this question, the second and the third question. Which soap operas are popular in Libya now? Who can give me some names of some soap operas that a lot of people here in Libya watch? What do you think, Samir? Do you watch soap operas a lot?
Not a lot, sometimes.
Sometimes.
And there's free time. Yes.
But I think with your work, that's difficult, right? I don't think you can probably see a lot of.
Yes.
Let's see someone else. What about you, Selma? Do you see a lot of soap operas? Or not a lot when you're at home? And do you like soap operas? who likes soap operas here? Maybe Safia or Manal. Does anybody like soap operas here? Okay, so nobody likes them. Maybe.
Yes, I'm like it.
You like soap operas?
Yes, sometimes.
Okay, but tell me, what do you think are the most popular soap operas in Libya now, in your opinion? Which soap operas are very popular now? What do you think?
Sorry.
Are you watching any soap operas now?
I'm not up to date.
You're not up to date, so maybe you don't watch a lot, just a bit.
Yes. I'm busy, so busy.
Yeah, so we need to...
it's
Korean
Korean and Spanish soap operas these days. Yes, and Spanish.
Spanish? Does anybody
These
watch?
days.
Does anybody watch these? I don't think. I think maybe this is in the past.
All
But-
my family and my friends here, they are.
Is there a new one that they're watching?
I don't know the names of this, but
Is this now, or are you talking about the past?
no.
Now, okay. So maybe there's a new one. I'm not up to date either. Is there a new? Is there a new Spanish one? Is maybe Mexican,
A lot.
Brazilian, something? A lot? There are a lot. I know there are lots of Turkish ones.
Spanish, not. No. These days, I think it's more for Spanish and Korean.
But Spanish from Spain, you mean, not from
Yes,
Mexico?
from Spain, not from Mexico. Yes, from Spain.
Okay, this is a very new update. I haven't been aware of this. Okay, I've been aware. I mean, what the Casa?
La Casa di Babel.
But this is not a soap
Papel.
opera. Yeah, Casa de Papel is not a soap
Yes.
opera. It's a normal series, you know, crime. I saw a few episodes on Netflix where they, you know, few characters and there's this mastermind, you know. It's kind of nice. It's okay. I like it. But this is not
But
soap.
I think it's not soap.
No, it's not. It's not.
Yeah.
So my point is, I want to try to explain what is a soap opera, what's the difference between a soap opera and a normal series. So we have soap operas and we have series. So, okay, let's talk about some of the similarities and some of the differences, okay? So soap operas are a type of series. So of course they have episodes. Any series has episodes, okay? But if you're talking about a normal series, you can sometimes have a crime series, action series, mafia series, drama series, historical series, right? These are all different kinds of series. A soap opera, it has to have a certain style. It is social. It's a lot about relationships, you know, love, divorce, marriage, having children.
Normal life of people.
Yeah, exactly. The normal daily life of people, you know, the daughters, they struggle with their sister-in-laws, they struggle with their mother-in-laws, the men are fighting over a woman, and then there's this child. Nobody knows who's the father of this child. Everybody's looking for the father. These are the normal scenarios, the typical stories. Do you get the idea? So soap operas, اللي هو نمط المسلسلات اللي هي القديمة. أنا ما عنديش أبديت جديد نعرف القديم كاساندرا وشو اسمه ماريمار والجروب هذاك، وحتى المسلسلات التركية اللي هي شو اسمه اللي انشهر فترة بتاع مهند والثانية نور ولا نور مهند شو اسمه كانوا الشخصيات هم.
Yes.
صح؟ هذا النوع هذا اسمه هذا المسلسلات من الصنف هذا يسموا فيهم سوب اوبرز. من النوع هذا لازم يكون من النوع هذا. لو مش من النوع هذا مش ما يسموش سوب اوبرا بالانجليزي، هيكون اسمه سيريز وخلاص. دراما هيستوريكال يصنفوه تصنيف ثاني. لكن السوب اوبرا دائما النمط هذا الاجتماعي هذا، سواء اللي هم المسلسلات التركيه اللي حاليا مشهوره، او زي ما قالت سميحه اللي هم الاسبانيه جدد ما عنديش عليهم فكره توا، او التركيات او الكوريات. حتى الكوريات في جزء منهم كبير اللي هم soap operas بالنمط هذا يعني. So this is the meaning of soap opera. It's a type of social series. وهذا القصد يعني. Anyway, so okay. So this question, maybe I answered a bit of it, but I want to see what you think. Who can tell me, or who can give me some typical stories in soap operas? Who can think of some typical stories? The usual stories in soap operas. Who can give me an example? Any examples? What do you think, Sophia? Can you think of typical stories or scenarios from a soap opera? Maybe Samiha, you have some ideas, or Sanna. Can you think of some scenarios?
Yes, maybe when in same village there is a rich family and poor family.
Exactly. Yes.
And the poor family have
they have a beautiful daughter, and
yes, beautiful daughter,
and she falls in
yes,
love with the rich
she
man.
She met the rich son of the rich son in the market maybe, and she fight him and
They fall in love.
Yes. No. Maybe they, after few days, they met again in a big party, and she surprised he is the son of of this family.
Of a very rich family.
That's it. Yes. See you in the next episode.
Yes, they never give you details. They always keep you watching the next one. Sometimes
Yes,
you watch a full episode, 1 hour, and nothing really happens. She just goes to the market and comes back. But this is one hour just going, and she's looking at the sky, and she's looking at the tomato, and she's looking at his eyes. They're like this. These are the ideas. All right, so I think everybody knows what we mean now by soap opera. So let me show you the second question here. It says, read the first paragraph of the article only, okay? So I just want you to read the first paragraph, okay? Can you see this paragraph here? I'm going to put a little box on it. Can you see it? This one? Okay, so just read this part. When you're done, just tell me we're done, and I can show you the questions. Oops, sorry.
I finish.
Okay. Has everyone finished this paragraph?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yes.
All right, nice. Okay. So let me show you our first introduction question. So it says, family business is a what? What kind of show is it? What is family business?
One restaurant.
Okay, but what is it? I mean, the name itself, family business, what is it? What do you think? Okay, I'll go back. Yeah, what is it?
Popular radio drama.
That's it.
The full moon.
Yeah, so okay, you can answer the next question, but a family business is a popular radio show. Okay, so this is the right answer.
Okay.
It's a popular, or we can say a soap opera, popular radio drama show. Okay, and the Blake family own a restaurant called, what is it called, Selma? The name of the restaurant?
The full moon.
Correct, the Full Moon. And the other restaurant, what is it called? Can you remember the name of the other restaurant? Excuse me. I'll show you. What is it, Samiha?
Angel.
The Angel, correct. So
The Angel.
Yeah. The other restaurant is called The Angel, right? But what's the main problem of this series? What is it? The family's main problems are, what are the family's main problems? What are they?
They have money problems.
This is one thing. What else? Only money problems?
No.
No?
And the relationships between the family members are getting worse.
Correct. So these are the two problems they have. The family problems, the family relationships are getting worse, and there are serious money problems. Correct. These are
I think also the new restaurant is taking their customers.
Taking their business, right? Taking their customers.
Yeah.
Correct. Maybe this is why they have serious money problems, because they're not getting customers. Right?
The main problem that make the others.
Correct. Okay, I just want to ask a quick question. Is my connection okay? Is my sound clear, or is there, is it clear? Samiha, can you hear me clearly?
No,
For
it's
me, it's
clear.
It's clear, okay.
For me, it's clear.
All right, okay. Because I'm not using the same internet, so I'm just checking. If you think the quality of the sound is not good, just tell me, okay? So the family's main problems, we have money and a new restaurant opening. This is also another problem for them. And relationships. The family has problems in their relationships. Okay, so now we have an idea about this soap opera or this drama series. We have a clue, or we have an idea what are the main problems. Now, I want you to read the rest of the articles. So I'm going to let you read a little bit about the characters and try to know more about. I don't know if we can see all of it together. Okay, we can't. Okay, مش هنقدر نشوفه كله مع بعض. Okay, so I'm going to zoom out. I'm going to zoom out again. Is it, if it's too, can you please, okay. Can you please zoom in with your phones and tell me if you can read it or not? Can you still read it, or is it too small after you zoom with using your phones?
I can read it.
You can read it. Samiha, Salma, same thing?
Yes.
Yes, we can.
Yeah, just zoom in. Okay, so start from here. Lydia, we have Lydia. Then we have Clive, Darren, Trudy, Kathy, and Eve King, okay? And when you're done reading, just let me know you're finished, and we can talk a little bit about these characters. Have you finished? Okay, Sophia, welcome back.
Yes.
Okay, can you see the book?
No.
No?
Yes. Weak line.
Okay. Now I need you to zoom using your phone. Can you zoom with your hand, with your fingers like this? Can you zoom on your screen? Are you using a phone or a laptop?
La phone.
Phone, okay, good. So I need you to zoom on Lydia. Can you see Lydia?
No.
Here, Lydia, can you see her?
Okay. Okay.
So just zoom with your fingers on your screen, and
Yes.
and then after you finish Lydia, reading about Lydia, read Clive, Darren, Trudy, Kathy, and Eve. Okay?
Everyone or Lydia?
No, all of them, all of the characters.
Okay.
Are you done, Rashid? Have you finished?
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, same thing. Have you finished? Samiha?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Great, great. Okay, so let's ask a little bit here. Let's go to the questions. So let me zoom back again. Let me zoom. Okay, so let's zoom. Okay, all right. So now the first question we have here, it says, is the Full Moon restaurant successful? From what you read, is it a successful restaurant, the Full Moon, or not a successful restaurant? No, it's not.
Yeah. No.
Okay. And what about the husband and wife, Lydia and Clive? Do they have a good relationship?
No.
No.
They will divorce.
Maybe they'll divorce, yes. And how many?
He's thinking.
He's thinking. Okay. She's thinking or he's thinking? Who's thinking of divorce? He, the
He's
man?
thinking.
Clive.
He will divorce her and marry the Angle restaurant.
Marry Eve. Marry Eve.
Yes.
I think that's a good plan. I would do that too, yes. Or maybe marry both of them, so you can have two wives. Okay, so how many, what is it? How many children have they got?
3.
We have 3 children.
3 children. That's right, yes. And has Trudy got a job at the moment? Does she have a job?
No.
No.
No, she hasn't.
No.
That's right.
No, she hasn't.
She hasn't got a job. That's correct. And which of their children is a criminal? So they also have a criminal in the family.
Who is Darren? He's Darren.
Darren. Right. So Darren is a criminal. And what about Nick? When did Nick leave home?
1 year ago,
1 year ago?
I think.
Let's
Yeah.
check. Is that correct? Okay, Rashid agrees with you. He says that's right. But let's take a look. Nick, where is it? Where does it say? Nick left home a year ago. You're right. Correct. So Nick left a year ago. Who are Elizabeth's parents?
Kathy.
Who?
Kathy.
Kathy and Darren.
Kathy and Darren. Okay, so Elizabeth is Kathy and Darren's daughter. Okay.
Yeah.
Where is the Angel restaurant? Where is it?
On the same street
The
of
same street.
the moon, the full moon.
So both restaurants are in the same street. Okay. So now we have some information about what's going on. Now let's talk a little bit about vocabulary. We'll come back to the story, but let's discuss vocabulary first. So here we want to talk about prefixes. First of all, let me remind you, or let me ask, who can remind me, what does prefix mean when we say a prefix? What does this mean? Prefix. Who can tell me?
Maybe a few, some alphabets when add before another name, take the opposite of this name, maybe.
You're right. Yes, in these examples, all of them are negative. So this is like an addition, a few added letters that we add to adjectives that change it into negative. So for example, we have the word possible, but if we add im in the beginning, if we add this prefix,
Impossible.
it becomes impossible, which is the opposite, right? So these little letters that we add in the beginning is called a prefix. So if you put it in the beginning, it's called a prefix. If you put it in the end, it's called a suffix. هذا مش موضوعنا اليوم، هو أنا كنا معلومة زايد. Because sometimes we change the ending of the word and it changes from noun to adjective. For example, so you can say kind, but if we put kindness, right? Kind. لو نزيدوها الsuffix اللي هو kindness, it changes from adjective to noun. هذا العكس اللي هو قصة السفكس زي ما حكيت لكم not our topic، لكن ليهم في علاقة بيناتهم، يعني suffix prefix ديما تذكرون مع بعض. Prefix is when you add something to the beginning of the word, we call it a prefix. If you add something to the end of the word, we call it a suffix. Prefix, suffix. This is the idea. Okay, so let's forget about suffix now. Let's talk about these prefixes. So we have different types of prefixes. You can see here in the table, we have un, we have in, we have im, we also have this. So now I want you to guess which of these adjectives do we use for each prefix. So for example, patient, it's already answered. We say impatient, patient, impatient. What about considerate? How do we make it into an opposite? What do we say? Which one do you think?
Inconsiderate.
That's actually correct. Inconsiderate. What about honest?
Dishonest.
Correct. That's right, Sanmayas. Honest, dishonest. What about reliable?
Unreliable.
Unreliable. What do you say? Unreliable. What about employed?
Unemployed.
Right. Unemployed. And what about, let's go back. What about mature?
Immature.
Immature, correct. So immature. Helpful?
Unhelpful.
Unhelpful.
Unhelpful. That's right. What about selfish?
Unselfish.
Unselfish. Unselfish. Selfish. Okay. Now let's check if these are right. They're right. Okay, we don't need to check because it's just a bit hard to show you in the story, but all of them are okay. Let's do it together. So let's find these in the text. Let's start with Lydia. If you can see any adjectives with a prefix, just let me know. Okay, so we don't have any here in Lydia.
No.
Let's take a look at Clive. Let's see if we have any adjectives with a prefix. We have two.
Impatient and considerate.
Right. So this means impatient and inconsiderate. Correct, correct. Okay, let's take a look at Darren. Can you see any prefixes, any adjectives with the prefix? We have two. Can you see that?
Unreliable.
Right.
Other.
And
dishonest.
right. So we have dishonest and unreliable. Nice. Now, what about Trudy? Can you find any adjectives with a prefix?
Immature.
Right. We have immature.
unhelpful,
unemployed,
unhelpful, and Samiha?
unemployed,
unemployed.
Correct. So we have 3. Unemployed, immature, unhelpful. Okay, let's take a look. Kathy and Eve King, can you find any adjectives with a prefix here?
Unselfish.
Unselfish. And that's all. Correct. Okay, so we found all of them. Now let's take a look at the other group here in this box. So I'm going to say the adjective and I'd like you to give me the opposite. So happy,
Sad.
sad,
Unhappy.
or unhappy.
Unhappy.
You can also say unhappy. Sad is correct, but if we want to use a prefix, we can just say unhappy, happy, unhappy. Intelligent,
Stupid.
stupid is correct. Or if we want to use a prefix,
Intelligent.
which one? Do we say unintelligent? Do we say unintelligent? Do we say unintelligent? Disintelligent? Which one?
Unintelligent.
You think unintelligent?
Yeah.
Okay. Polite?
Unemployed.
Unpolite? Any other guesses?
Impolite.
Aggressive.
polite,
Impolite?
Impolite.
Impolite? Here,
Impolite.
impolite with the IM. Impolite, Selma thinks, okay.
Yeah.
What about ambitious? Ambitious. What's the opposite? Which prefix do we use to make it an opposite? What do you think? Any guesses? If you don't know, you can just guess because some of these are new, so it's okay if we don't know.
disambitious,
Disambitious, maybe. Any other guesses? What do you think, Selma, for ambitious? Okay, let's leave ambitious. What about friendly? What's the prefix that makes it up?
Friendly.
Unfriendly? Possible? Possible?
Impossible.
Impossible.
Impossible? Attractive?
Unattractive.
Unattractive? Correct?
Incorrect.
Incorrect.
Incorrect? Sure?
unsure,
Unsure.
Unsure? Organized?
disorganized,
Disorganized.
Disorganized? Healthy?
Unhealthy.
Unhealthy.
Unhealthy? Okay, let's yeah, unhealthy, healthy is maybe easy. Okay, let's take a look. Let's confirm your answers. Let's check the summary. Let's find out. So where are they? Here it is. Can you see this on the right side of the page? Adjectives with prefixes. Can you see that?
Yes.
Okay, so let's find someone let's divide them. Okay, so Rashid, can you read the first group, the one with the can you read them for us, please? The first group here. Rashid, are you there? Can you hear us? Okay, Rashid's not there. Okay, so Sophia, you can do the first group for us. The one that starts with un. Can you read these adjectives for us?
yes, unreliable, unemployed, unhelpful, unselfish, unhappy, unintelligent, unambitious, unfriendly, unattractive, unsure, unhealthy.
That's correct. Okay. Selma, can you read the rest of the groups here? The rest of the words?
Inconsiderate, incorrect,
Right. What about the M group? Can you also read it for us?
inconsiderate,
No, the next one, the M group. How do we read this?
impatient,
Impatient.
impatient, immature,
Right.
impolite,
Mm-hmm.
impossible,
Okay. And the last group?
dishonest, disorganized,
Disorganized.
disorganized.
That's correct. Okay, so we have a few tips here that are important to keep in mind. So if your adjective starts with a C, okay, there's a big chance you will use in. Of course, these are, these tips are not always, but usually. Do you get the idea? So, for example, considerate, inconsiderate, correct, incorrect, convincing, unconvincing. But my point is that this is common. We use it a lot. So if you have a word that starts with C, an adjective that starts with C, there's a big chance that you can make it into negative using in. All right, now, adjectives that begin with P. Usually we use the prefix im. Patient, impatient, polite, impolite. Not all of them. Possible, impossible, good example, yeah. So, sometimes you'll find this. It says we can't use prefixes with all adjectives. So you can say not bright, but we cannot say unbright. For example, we say smart, we cannot say unsmart, right? Or stupid, unstupid. You can't do it. Sometimes you can, but not always. Now, this is an extra tip. It says here that with un, you can sometimes use it even for verbs. Not all verbs, but for some verbs. For example, pack, unpack, lock, unlock, do, undo. I can't think of other ones, but in some verbs we can use un to make it into opposite. So these are good examples, especially lock, unlock. It's a common one. I think we use it a lot. Lock the door, unlock the door, pack your bags, unpack your bags. So we sometimes even use it for verbs. So this is the point here. This is the meaning of a prefix. So a prefix is an addition to the word, to the adjective. This is what it means, prefix. All right, is it clear? Do you get the idea?
Yes.
And I think you can clearly notice that un is used a lot more than the other ones, right?
Yes.
So this means if you're not sure of a word, you don't know, and you just want to guess, just use un, because there's a bigger chance that you're right. Just because un is used a lot. That's my point here. Okay. So now let's go back and let's listen to how we pronounce these words. And before we listen, I've got a little question here. Where do we put the stress in adjectives where we have a prefix? Where's our stress? Is it in the beginning, the end, the middle, what is it? Where is it? Do you think that the prefix itself, is it stressed? Do we say?
No, the beginning of the adjective. It's by the prefix at the middle, I mean.
So you're saying the prefix is not stressed?
Not stressed, yes.
Right. If you take a look at all of these words, you can see that we never stress the prefix, right? So we say, for example, impossible. We don't say impossible. Impossible. So the pa is stressed, but im is not stressed. And if you check all the examples, it's the same thing, right? You can see that we never stress the prefix. So this is also an important tip to keep in mind. Now let me take you back, and let me just quickly play the track here. I want you to notice how we say these words, especially when we add a prefix. So we just want to listen to them. I need you to pay attention to them. So I'm just going to play them from the track. So let's go to the CD2 21. Where is it? Oops. Okay, so let me go to the CD. Okay, CD1 track. What is it? Is it CD1? CD2. CD2, not CD1. CD2 track 22. Okay.
Hello, Lydia. What happened at the bank this afternoon?
Oops, sorry. 21. Yes.
Reliable. Unreliable.
شكلها من فوق بعدين.
Employed. Unemployed. Considerate. Inconsiderate. Correct. Incorrect. Patient. Impatient. Mature. Immature. Honest. Dishonest. Organized. Disorganized.
Okay, so not all of them. توقعتهم بيقولون كلهم. Okay, no problem. So the only point here I want to make is قصة stress, that's all. So the summary of this question is this. هذا الملخص. Notice that prefixes aren't usually stressed. هذا اللي بوصله لكم. So don't stress the prefix. Okay. So عليكم السلام. Najat, how are you today? Okay, so now let's go to the story. Let me take you to the story here. Let's go back to the story of this family, the restaurant, and all the problems they're having. Now, before we listen, I just want you to take a look at these three questions. So the first question says, where are the people? We want to know where they are. Which characters are talking and what do they talk about? All right, so these are the three questions we need to listen to. So let me play the track and let's find out. Let's listen.
22. Hello, Lydia. What happened at the bank this afternoon?
Bank managers. They're all idiots.
Oh dear. We can't borrow any more money. Is that what you're saying?
Of course that's what I'm saying. And if we don't start paying them back soon, they're going to close this restaurant.
Oh no. They can't do that.
Yes, they can. And they will. In 2 weeks.
Hi, Mum.
Hello, Darren.
How did it go at the bank?
Oh, don't ask.
Don't worry. Things will get better. And soon.
I hope so. How many customers have we got in today?
6.
6? Is that all? I bet the Angel has more than 6 customers.
Yes, it's full. I walked past a few minutes ago. There were people waiting outside.
Oh dear. If we don't get our customers back, we're going to have to close the restaurant.
That won't happen, Mum. I promise you.
Darren, these are for table 2, and they want a bottle of house red. Come on, hurry up. We still have some people to look after.
Okay, I'm going.
Hi, Dad.
Hello, Trudy. How are you?
Yeah, not bad. Hey, guess what? I've got a job.
For how long, we wonder?
Well done, darling. What kind of job is it?
I'm a waitress at that new restaurant down the street.
What? You mean the Angel?
Yeah, that's right. I'm starting on Monday.
But if you want to be a waitress, why don't you work here?
Because you haven't got any customers, that's why. And anyway, I live with you people. I don't want to work with you as well. Ugh, I have to go. Bye.
I don't believe it. That woman!
Oh, calm down. At least she's got a job.
Not her. Eve King. The woman at the Angel. How could she take my daughter away from me?
Yes, I know. But what can you do?
I'll show you what I can do.
Lydia? Lydia! Where are you going?
Okay. So where are the people?
The restaurant.
Yeah, they're at the restaurant. But which restaurant? The Angel or the Full Moon?
The full moon.
The Angel? Do you think this is the story is now in the Angel? Do you think?
No.
Yeah, at their restaurant, which is the Full Moon. Okay, but in the track here, who was talking? Which characters were talking?
Lydia.
Lydia. Okay, I'll show you the characters. Lydia. Who else?
The father.
The father, Clive.
كلايف والثانية ترودي.
Trudy. But there was another one.
Darren.
Darren. Also Darren, yeah. So Lydia, Clive, Darren, and Trudy. Correct. All right. And the last question, it says, what do they talk about? Can you remember what did they talk about?
About
borrow money
bank.
from bank.
Correct. So they wanted to borrow money from the bank. Did they get the money? Did the bank lend them the money?
No.
But why not? Yeah, they didn't get the money. You're right. But why not? What do you think? They couldn't get the money.
Manager, I think.
The manager of the bank?
يكون عندهم قرض سابق مش مخلصينه يعني.
So maybe they had a previous loan and they didn't pay it back. So the bank doesn't want to give them any new loans. Maybe, is that the point?
Previous what?
I'm just trying to say what Manal said. I think what you're saying, Manal, is that the bank didn't lend them a new loan. What does loan mean?
Yes.
Loan, a bank loan. What does this word mean, bank? We say bank loan. What does it mean? And we also have lend and borrow. What do these mean? These words mean? Who knows what this word means? Bank loan, a bank loan. Yeah, which one? Loan? Bank loan?
Loan. Yes.
Borrow
Take money
silver.
from the bank.
Yes.
And repeat it in.
Okay. So. Samiha?
Take a money from a bank and return it after a specific time.
Exactly. This is a bank loan. So it's the money you take from the bank and then you give it back at a specific time with interest. With interest. What does interest mean?
Extra money, maybe.
Extra money. So if you take 1,000, when you put it back, you don't put 1,000, you have to put 1,100, for example. This is for the bank. Okay. Lend, what's the difference between lend and borrow? What's the difference?
Lend, I think, who give you the money.
Correct.
And borrow, who take the money.
Oh, correct, that's correct. Okay, who can tell me what this means? And who do you think said this?
The question.
The question is, what does this sentence mean? And who do you think said this?
From this family.
No, not in this. This is a separate question. It's not here. But it's related to borrowing and lending. But first of all, what do you think it means? This sentence or this idea?
neither يعني هذا ولا ذاك.
Sorry. Correct.
I am very relaxed.
Nothing.
Correct, you're right, Manad. صح. This is the meaning of neither. لا هذا لا هذا صح. But what is this person trying to say? Neither a borrower nor a lender be. And can we say it in another, maybe easier way? Lender. Lender comes from lend, to lend money. What does lending money mean, Manal? It's the opposite of lend. Sorry? Lend is the opposite of borrow. Do you know the meaning of borrow? Borrow money? صح. And lend?
استلاف يعني.
Borrow استلاف. Lend? What do you think lend is?
الو الصوت عندي يقطع.
هو صوتك يقطع صح؟
يعني صوت كلني مقطع كلمة حقا.
على فكرة كل الحصة سكي يا منى أنت عندك. نفس الشيء. ممكن عندك تعديلات المايك أو مش عارف النت. هل تستعمل في النت شفرة؟ نعم. Okay. Can you hear me?
معك.
اوكي، عندك انت ديما في تقطيع على فكرة في صوتك، ما نعرفش، ممكن هل من الهاتف، هل ممكن الزوم يحتاج تجديد، ممكن محتاج ابديت، مش عارف، لكن في كل الحصص بصفة عامة عندك تقطيع في الصوت. Are you using a computer؟ تستعمل في لابتوب ولا في هاتف؟ منال؟ Okay, so who can tell me this sentence? What do you think? Samiha, what are your guesses for, and Rashid, what do you think? Neither a borrower nor a lender be. What do you think the point is here? What is the person trying to say? Sophia, what do you think?
هذا لندر قرض أو مقرض.
مقرض، الشخص اللي بيعطي القرض، صح؟
أيوة.
والبارور الشخص اللي بياخده.
يستعير.
تمام، باهي.
neither borrower nor lender be. لا قارض ولا مقروض.
أيوة، يعني الشخص هذا ينصح فينا، يقولنا لا تعطي لا تاخذ. So if we want to say this in simple English, we can say نبسطها المقولة هذه بنقوله don't borrow don't lend ببساطة، صح ولا؟ don't borrow don't lend، هذا اللي بيحاول يقوله الشخص. طبعا هنا المقولة هذه قايلها شكسبير، لغتهم هذاك الوقت معقدة شوية. So لكن المعنى هو هذا don't borrow don't lend. This is advice. واحد من المسرحيات ينصح في ولده شخصية قال له don't lend don't borrow, because if you lend maybe you will not get back your money, and if you borrow then maybe you'll lose your friendship with the person you borrowed your money from. Anyways, so now let's move to the second part of the question. Here in this part, I want to see if you can remember the conversation. Take the true sentence and correct the false ones. So number one, it says Lydia borrowed some money from the bank this afternoon. Is this true or false?
True.
False.
True or false?
True.
True. She borrowed money. Did she get the money?
Maybe because she said I want to take some money off the bank. Maybe.
Okay. What about number two? The bank wants to close the restaurant. Is this true or false?
Yes.
True.
True.
Yes.
Okay, so you agree. Everybody agrees that this is true. Okay, number three. The full moon has only got 8 customers.
False. 6 customers.
6? No,
Yes.
okay.
Just 6 customers.
Just 6.
Yes.
The Angel restaurant is full.
Yes.
True.
Trudy has got a new job.
Yes. Sorry.
She's going to work in a bank.
No. False.
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 Where's she going to work?
Mr. Angel's.
Angela restaurant.
Correct. Lydia is very angry with Eve King.
Yes.
True.
True.
It's true. Okay, now let's go back.
Is this the story?
No, there's still another part. But this is the story. This is the beginning. But there's another part.
Okay.
What about number one? Lydia borrowed some money from the bank this afternoon. Is this true or false?
False.
It's false. What's the right answer, Rashid?
She didn't borrow some money.
She didn't, yeah. She went to the bank, but she couldn't get any money because the bank said no, right? The bank didn't give her any money. All right. So this is what happened in the first part. Would you like to listen again to this part to check your answers, or do you want to go to the next part?
I think it's clear.
It's clear. All right, now let's take a look at the next exercise here. So let's see how much you remember. We'll cover the article. Okay. So this is just a quick memory check question. So Lydia and Clive, what do you remember about these people? Who can give me a quick summary of Lydia and Clive?
Wife and husband.
Okay, what else?
Lydia is Clive's wife.
It's correct. They're husband and wife. هذه حاجة صح. What else?
Lydia is very organized.
They have sons.
They
Two
have
daughters and
children.
one boy.
Okay, they have some children. Two
Daughter
sons
and one boy.
and one daughter.
Two girls.
Two girls?
Two girls.
Are you sure?
Two sons.
I think two boys, right? Nick and Darren, right? Okay, we'll check. What did you say, Samiha, about, you said Lydia is organized?
Yes.
So who's that's bring the baby, and it's she's easygoing and optimistic, and
Who is this? Who can remember?
She's Darren's wife.
And what's her name?
I can't remember. I think as daughter.
No, she's Darren's wife.
Yeah.
But what's her name?
Kathy.
Kathy. She's the one who has the daughter, right? The baby, Elizabeth.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. What about Trudy? Any information about Trudy? What can you remember about Trudy?
Trudy selfish and moody, and she can't work in job more than 2 weeks.
Yeah,
And
that's
she's
correct.
the youngest child.
She's also the youngest. Selfish, moody. She can't keep a job for long enough. Correct. What about Eve King? What can you tell me about Eve King?
That's boss of Angel restaurant.
Yeah, the Angel restaurant. She's the boss of the new restaurant.
And single.
She's single. Correct.
Yes.
Anything else you know about her?
She's attractive.
She's attractive.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And now borrow Trudy to work with her.
Yeah, and now Trudy is working for her. That's true. Okay, what about the Full Moon restaurant? What can you tell me about this restaurant? What do you remember?
The restaurant. Loser.
Yeah, the restaurant that's not doing well, or I don't know if losing is the good word. Let's say the bad restaurant, or the restaurant losing customers, maybe, correct? Yes. Okay.
Yes.
Who's the owner of the Full Moon?
Angel. Owner. هذا Lydia and Clive.
Correct. Lydia and Clive are the owners. Correct. What about the Angel restaurant? What can you tell me about the Angel restaurant?
The new restaurant.
It's new.
Eve King is the owner of it.
Correct.
And it's a very full restaurant. Person waiting outside.
So it's a successful restaurant. It's doing well. It's doing well. All right, now let's listen to the next part of the story. But before we listen, I'd like you to read question number 1 to 7. Just a quick read. Take a look at these questions. 1 to 7, and then we're gonna listen. Let me see if there's another part. Okay, no, this is the rest of it. Yeah, okay. Okay, who can give me some guesses here? Why is Kathy worried?
Because the restaurant will close.
Okay, yeah.
Maybe for her husband, Darren.
What about
maybe
her?
Stolen money.
But is Darren the criminal? I don't think Darren was the criminal. It was what's his name? His brother.
Yeah.
Yeah. Darren is the criminal, correct? So she's worried that maybe her husband stole something. You think?
Or something happened to her daughter.
Okay. Does Darren stay at home with his family? Do you think?
No.
No? Why not? Why do you think?
No.
But why? Why do you think he doesn't stay?
If he stay home, Katie maybe will not be worried.
Good point. If he's at home, then maybe Kathy wouldn't be worried. Yeah, true. How much money did the restaurant make?
Which restaurant?
The Full Moon. Do you think a lot or not a lot?
Not a lot.
Not a lot.
I think not a lot.
Not a lot.
Not a lot.
And where did Lydia go?
For the Angel restaurant.
Go to the Angel restaurant.
She went to the Angel restaurant. And who's the last person to arrive at the restaurant? We're just guessing, by the way, now. Clive?
Maybe Clive, yes.
Maybe Clive.
Or Darren.
But it says here, why did he come back?
Maybe he forgot something.
Maybe he forgot something? Do you think maybe it's not? Maybe it's not Clive?
Maybe Darren.
Maybe Darren?
Yes.
And what do you think happens at the end of the episode? Who can guess?
What's mean episode?
Episode حلقة.
الحلقة.
I think Clive will divorce
Lydia. His wife. Yeah. Any other guesses? So maybe this will happen. Maybe Clive will divorce Lydia. Or
And Darren became a stealer.
Darren becomes a criminal again and steals cars again. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Samiha, what do you think will happen?
And
Continue.
their mother became depressed.
And their mother becomes and gets depression. And their mother gets depression.
Yes.
Becomes depressed. Okay. Any other guesses of what will happen? Okay, let's listen. Let's see. Let's see what's going to happen. So let me play the track for you.
Bree.
Hello, darling. You okay?
Hi, Kathy. Yeah, fine.
Darren, I'm worried. Elizabeth's not very well.
Oh, dear.
Shouldn't you be at work?
Having a break.
You going out?
Yeah. See my cigarettes?
Over there on the table. Where are you going, anyway?
Out. And where's my lighter?
On the table. Darren, what's going on?
Got some things to do, that's all.
You never spend time with us anymore.
See you later, Kathy. Bye.
Bye. Oh, Elizabeth. I'm so sorry your dad's not here with us. But I am. I'll always be here for you. Now, do you want to play with your toys? Do you?
And here's your receipt.
Thanks.
Thanks very much. Come again.
Thank you. Good night.
Right. That's the last customer. How much have we made tonight? £174. Oh, dear. Sorry, we're closed. Oh, it's you, Darren. Where did you go?
Out. Had things to do.
But we had customers.
Thought you could look after them. There were only 6. Where's Mum?
She's, I don't know. There you are, Lydia. Where have you been?
Went for a walk. Needed some time to think. Is Trudy home?
Yes, in her room.
Oh, good. Now, I think we all need to talk about things. Darren, can you go and get...
Sorry, we're... Oh, my...
Nick!
Hi, everyone. How's business?
Nick, darling. I can't believe it's you. Where have you been? Why didn't you call?
And why have you come back?
There's only one reason I'm back.
What's that, son?
To see my daughter.
Your daughter?
Yes. Elizabeth. She's my daughter, not Darren's. Ask Kathy. She'll tell you. I'm Elizabeth's father.
What?
What's happening outside?
There's a fire down the street. A restaurant, I think. It looked quite bad, too. So, how is everyone?
Okay. So, what do you think of the ending of the episode? So
it's the end of the...
It's a tragedy. It's not a soap opera. It's a black comedy. Okay. But let's start the questions here. So why is
Police
Kathy?
for who?
This is actually not the police. It was the fire brigade, the fire truck.
Ah.
Because there was a fire. So okay, but let's start here. Why was Kathy worried? Why was she worried in the beginning of the episode?
Because her daughter not well.
Correct. And
her daughter's father is not with them.
yes, and her father, whoever that is not with them. Correct. Now, number 2, does Darren stay at home with his family?
No.
No, he doesn't stay at home. Correct. How much? Do you remember how much money they made? Can you remember?
74
170.
No.
74.
174 pounds.
That's it. 174 pounds. Is that a lot? Do you think that's a lot?
No.
Or do you think it's okay? Or not? Okay.
Not a lot. Not a lot.
Yeah, it's not a lot. It's not enough, especially because they have problems. So it's not enough. Correct. So where did Lydia go?
For walking and thinking.
That's what she said, but do you think that's true? Do you think that's where she went?
No.
No?
She stayed with them.
She stayed with them, but she, I mean, she came later. She wasn't in the restaurant in the beginning. She was out and she came back in. So
I think she go to Angel restaurant and make something to make this fire. I think she's the criminal.
You think she started the fire?
Yes, because she went very angry.
Yes, when she knew that her daughter Trudy was working at the Angel, she got really angry. She got mad, right? Do you think?
But I think. But I think it's a stupid idea because her daughter is working there. Maybe hurt her daughter.
Burn.
True. But what did she do? Do you remember what she said when she entered the Full Moon restaurant? What was the first thing she said? She asked about something.
I'm going to
about asking about her daughter.
Right.
And answer her in her room.
Right.
In her room.
Exactly. So she asked about her daughter. Maybe she made sure that her daughter is not at the Angel restaurant.
Yes.
So this way, her daughter is safe and she can burn the restaurant down. So this means we know where Darren got his criminal genes from. He got his criminal genes from his mother, because maybe his mother is a criminal too.
Yes.
Okay, so here number 4. Yeah, it says who's the last person to arrive at the restaurant? Who's the last person?
Nick.
Nick was the last person, correct. But why did he come back?
Yes. To see her daughter.
To see
his daughter.
To see his daughter. That's right. Right. And at the end of the episode, what happened at the end of the episode? What did you hear at the very end?
Elizabeth, father of Elizabeth.
Correct. He said he's the father of Elizabeth, but after that, there was something else.
And there's fire.
The fire truck, or you can say the fire brigade. اللي هم المطافي نفسها. The fire brigade.
Fire brigade.
Yeah.
Hearing.
Correct. So there was the fire brigade, and Nick said there was a fire in a restaurant nearby. So, who do you think started the fire? Do you think it was Lydia, or do you think maybe Nick started the fire?
Why Nick?
I don't know. I'm just asking. Or maybe Darren. Do you remember when Darren went out? When Kathy said, "Where are you going?" He said, "Out." Do you remember that?
No, Lydia.
Do you think Lydia did it? Not Darren?
Yes.
No. Do you think maybe together they did it? Because they were both out. Or Lydia? You still think Lydia did it? Any other opinions other than Safia's opinion? What do you think, Rashid? Who started the fire, in your opinion? What do you think? Do you think it's Lydia, Nick, or Darren? Or do you think maybe it was an accident?
100% Lydia.
100%
No,
Lydia.
maybe Darren.
Maybe Darren. Because
yes, because he was
nervous,
very,
right?
nervous, yes. Or
And
maybe he saw his mother do something. I don't know.
Also irritable هو with her wife, but
yeah, he was a little angry and irritable with his wife, you're right. And he asked for his cigarettes and he went out. He didn't say where he's going, so we don't really know.
But I think Lydia.
But you still think Lydia? Yeah, Rashid also thinks it's Lydia.
Yes.
Okay.
That's work of women, not
No.
Yes, and
women never do it.
Yeah, women never do it. Yeah, well, good opinions. Maybe work of a woman, because she's very angry with Eve King because Eve King ruined her business and took her daughter, right? So two things. That's why she's very angry. Anyways, so let's move to this part. Now, there's a little tip here. It's nice and simple. So this is about informal English. What do we mean when we say informal English? Informal English. What does this mean? Informal English.
اللغة الدارجة متاع الشارع.
Not formal.
Yes, it's
spoken.
You know, everyday spoken English. This is what we mean. You know, everyday language, not official, not a language of in the classroom or or in a university. It's everyday language. This is what it means. Now, I'm going to play a few sentences, and I want you to notice the missing words. You will actually hear a few missing words. I want you to tell me, what are the missing words and why do you think they're missing? So listen to this.
4. Listen to what you expect to hear and what you sometimes hear.
I'm having a break. Having a break.
Are you going out? You going out?
Have you seen my cigarettes? Seen my cigarettes?
What do you notice here? What's going on? What happened here? You can tell me.
They missed the...
Did you hear the listening?
Yes.
Okay. But what happened? What was the change? The change that happened here. What was it? What do you think? In these sentences, what's the difference? What's the change?
Remove subject, verb to be, or the pronoun.
Correct. They removed the subject in the first one. Subject and verb to be. So instead of saying I'm having a break, they said having a break. Right? So there's something missing. So we removed this part. Let me just underline. So we removed this part. And in the second example, what did we remove? What's the thing we removed? Are. Yeah, so we said, but my question is this correct? Is this grammatically correct? Can we say you going out? Can we say having a break like this? Is it grammatically correct, you think?
No.
But
it's not, right? But
هذا مش صيغة سؤال يعني.
Yes, but why did they in the story, in the recording, why did they do it? Why did they use it? لو ركزتوا في conversation, this is what they said. لما تكلموا مع بعض, لما I'm having a break, لما دارن بيطلع فقال having a break. لما قلت له where are you going or where were you? He said having a break. He didn't say I'm having a break. But why? Or how? Yes. In spoken English, sometimes they miss out some words. It's done. يعني ممكن تسمعها in informal spoken language. This is normal. ومن ناحية grammar طبعا ما هوش صحيح. You can't remove I'm. You can't remove are. You get the idea. نفس الشيء. Have you. فبدل ما الشخص قال have you seen my cigarettes فقال see my cigarettes. اللي يبغى يوضحوا لكم النقطة هذه أن في الإنجليزية اللي هي الغير رسمية أو spoken English مرات يديروا فيها الحاجات هذه. And الفكرة, when can you do this? You can do this if the missing word, if the meaning is clear. حتى من غير الكلمات لو المعنى واضح مرات يسقطوا فيهم الكلمات هذه. This is the point. You get the idea. يعني معلومة جانبية بخصوص الموضوع. Now, what I want you to do this time, I'm going to play the last part of the story again, but I'm going to show you the script this time. So we're also going to see the words. Now, what I need you to do is, I want you to try to spot all the parts, all the missing words. So if you can find any missing words, just tell me there's a missing word. Okay, so let me take you to the script and let's listen again and try to find the missing words. So this is the first part of the conversation. Okay, can you see this? Track 23. Can everybody see this? In the bottom?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
So let's start, and if you can see any missing words, just say there's a missing word. So let's listen.
Track 23.
Hello, darling. You okay?
Hi, Kathy. Yeah, fine.
Darren, I'm worried. Elizabeth's not very well.
Oh, dear.
Shouldn't you be at work?
Okay, let's start with this part. Can you see any missing words?
Are
You
and
okay?
I'm.
Yeah, because Kathy, when she asked him, she didn't say, are you okay? She just said, you okay? And when he answered, he didn't say, I'm fine. What did he say? Fine.
Fine.
Yeah, fine.
Without I'm. Okay, so these are two examples. We found two. Let's see the rest of the conversation. Let's take a look. So we're gonna start here.
Having a break.
You going out?
Yeah. See my cigarettes?
Over there on the table. Where are you going anyway?
Out. And where's my lighter?
On the table. Darren, what's going on?
Got some things to do, that's all.
You never spend time with us anymore.
See you later, Kathy. Bye.
Bye. Oh, Elizabeth. I'm so sorry your dad's not here with us. But I am. I'll always be here for you. Now, do you want to play with your toys? Do you?
And here's your receipt.
Thanks.
Thanks very much. Come again.
Thank you. Good night.
Right. That's the last customer. How much have we made tonight? £174. Oh, dear. Sorry, we're closed. Oh, it's you, Darren. Where did you go?
Out. Had things to do.
But we had customers.
Thought you could look after them. There were only 6. Where's Mum?
She's, I don't know. There you are, Lydia. Where have you been?
Okay, so let's look for all the missing words from the beginning. So the first one is, what is it?
I'm.
Yeah, he didn't say I'm. And then she asked him, She said, you going out, so she didn't use are. And then he didn't use have you. And also Kathy, she didn't say they're over there. She just said over there.
Over there.
Right? And here also, what did Dan say when she asked him, where are you going? What did he say?
Out.
Out. He didn't say, I'm going out. What about, where's my lighter? What did he say?
On the table.
He didn't say it's. What's going on? What did he say?
Got some things.
Right. He didn't say, I've got some things to do. That's correct. And then here, Darren, when his father asked him, where did you go? What did he say?
Out.
Out. He didn't say,
okay,
I went out. And then he said, had things to do. He didn't say I. And again, he didn't say I. Thought you could, do you get the idea? So
Thought you could
look after them. I. So these are some of the missing words. Okay, so let's see the rest of the conversation. Thought you could look after them. Where have you been? Where have you been? Okay, let's listen.
Went for a walk. Needed some time to think. Is Trudy home?
Yes, in her room.
Oh, good. Now, I think we all need to talk about things. Darren, can you go and get...
Sorry, we're... Oh, my...
Nick!
Hi, everyone. How's business?
Nick, darling, I can't believe it's you. Where have you been? Why didn't you call?
And why have you come back?
There's only one reason I'm back.
What's that, son?
To see my daughter.
Your daughter?
Yes. Elizabeth. She's my daughter, not Darren's. Ask Kathy. She'll tell you. I'm Elizabeth's father.
What?
What's happening outside?
There's a fire down the street. A restaurant, I think. It looked quite bad, too. So, how is everyone?
Okay. So also Lydia, she didn't say I went. She said went. She didn't say I needed. She said needed. Okay, so this is the idea that sometimes in spoken English, you know, it's okay to skip some. It's okay to skip some words. This is the point. All right, so let's see our next exercise, number 10. This is a nice exercise. Okay, so what do you think will happen in the next episode of Family Business? Use ideas and include at least 4 characters. So let's create or let's write an episode, the next episode. So Nick is back. There's a fire in the Angel restaurant. What do you think is going to happen? What do you think?
Leave home.
Who's going to leave home? Nick or Darren or Kathy or Trudy? And what's going to happen to Eve King? What's going to happen to the full moon? What do you think? Let's think of some scenarios. Here you have some ideas, by the way, that can help you. Maybe these can help you. So maybe you can talk about arguments.
Break up with someone.
Maybe, yeah, leave home, fall in love, break up with someone, go to hospital. Someone will be arrested. Someone will change his job, lose her job, borrow money, steal money, close the restaurant. You have lots of ideas, but we have to say who did what and what happened. We have to give some details for our episodes. So let's hear some ideas. Okay, Manal, you can start. Tell us a little bit about your ideas. What do you think will happen?
Break up with someone.
Who's going to break up with who?
Lydia and
Lydia and Clive? You think Lydia and Clive will break up?
I don't remember the names correctly.
You don't? Okay, let me show you the names. So these are the characters. Let me take you back.
Elizabeth's mother.
Kathy. You mean Kathy? Okay, here are the characters. This is Eve King.
Kathy and her husband.
This is Kathy. This is Elizabeth, Trudy, Clive, Darren, and Lydia. So what do you think will happen, Manal?
Kathy break with her husband.
Okay, so in the next episode, Kathy will break up with Darren. Okay. What else? What other things will happen? Let's see. So, Rashid, what do you think will happen in the next episode? What about the Angel restaurant? And what about Eve King? Do you think she will call the police maybe? Or do you think maybe she got burned? Do you think, what do you think will happen? Selma, any ideas about the next episode?
Maybe Kathy will leave home.
Maybe Kathy will leave home?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's say Kathy leaves home. Kathy, but do you think she'll take her daughter or she will leave it?
Maybe leave it.
Okay. And leave her. Okay, let's write an episode which is really, sad and tragic together, okay? What else? Think of only negative things, okay?
Close the restaurant.
Which restaurant? The Full Moon?
Full Moon.
Full Moon.
But why will they close it? I think now maybe because they should keep it open because the customers from the Angel, they can't go to the Angel restaurant anymore because because of the fire, right? معناها فرصتهم المفروض تو علاش يسكروا. Yeah, so maybe the fire. Okay, my question is the fire a good thing for the full moon or a bad thing?
Bad thing.
Why bad thing? Why do you think it's a bad thing?
Maybe they didn't have need to keep going to the restaurant.
My question is, remember the problem. The problem with the full moon, it didn't have enough customers, right? This was the problem of the full moon, which is the restaurant of Lydia and Clive, because the new restaurant, the Angel, took all the customers, right? But now the Angel is destroyed by the fire. So this is good news for the new moon. Sorry, Manan?
يعني حسيت إن الباقي بيحجز على الرسمت بعد ما يمكن
صوتك يقطع علبة ما قدرش نسمعك يا منال. Sorry.
Because the boss of Angel restaurant, she will climb at the police.
Ah, you think she'll call the police?
Yes.
But maybe she died in the fire.
Claim about the family.
But maybe she died in the fire.
Oh.
No, maybe lady is died.
Maybe Lydia died in the fire.
No.
But Lydia is alive. Lydia, in the end of the episode, she was alive. Why would she die? But
maybe after hearing her son, Nick said, I'm father of Elizabeth. They have a heart attack, go to hospital and be arrested.
This is nice. I like it. I like this. Let's write it. So Lydia gets a heart attack and goes to hospital. Okay. And she meets Eve King there, who is severely burned from the fire. And they become friends. No, I'm just joking. Okay, let's think of something else.
I think Darren go to the restaurant and stolen some money when people are.
But which restaurant?
Are in this.
His parents' restaurant or the angel?
No. The angel maybe.
You mean after the fire or before the fire?
Yes, after the fire. After the fire, when people are running. Yeah.
Good thing. Okay, that's right.
Maybe try to steal some money. Maybe.
And do you think he's successful, or do you think they catch him?
Of course, they catch him.
Okay, from the angel and gets caught. Okay. Okay. What about Trudy? What happens to Trudy? Dianka.
She loses her job.
Correct. And what does she do after that? What do you think she'll do?
Leave home maybe.
Okay. Okay. Trudy leaves home. Okay.
Before Lydia and Nick, before Lydia go to hospital, maybe they have an argument.
Okay.
They have a heart attack. Then go hospital, then be arrested.
Okay. So, okay.
They said have an argument there.
Okay. But remember, these are optional. You don't have to use all of them, but we can use this idea. Let's just... Yeah, you don't have to use all of them.
Said use this.
No, these are ideas to help us. You don't have to use them, but it makes sense, I think. So Lydia gets into an argument with her two sons, and Darren shoots Nick in the leg, and then Lydia, then we can say Lydia gets a heart attack and
nice scenario,
and goes to hospital. Okay, so she goes to hospital. Darren tries to steal money and gets caught. Okay. Did we say, Selma, do you have any good ideas to add about Clive or Nick or Eve? I think we have to kill someone. All of them are alive. We need someone to die. Who should we kill? Let's kill the baby. let's kill the baby and...
No, maybe...
No.
No? Why not? We want to make it tragic and horrible. What do you think, Selma? Who should we kill?
No, maybe Kathy do accident, maybe.
Maybe Kathy commits suicide. She kills herself. Or she has an accident while she's trying to run away. I like this. Okay.
Why she kill herself?
Because Nick says he's the father, and everybody knows her secret now.
It's not. Oh, maybe.
So she's feeling guilty and she kills herself. Or she kills her
But
daughter.
I think she get her daughter and run away from this family.
But while she's running away, she has an accident and she hurts herself. She gets paralyzed and she finds herself with Lydia and Eve King in the same hospital. Okay, but we don't have to make it too tragic. We already said Kathy will break up and run away with her daughter. What do you think will happen with Clive, the husband? What do you think he'll do? Do you think maybe he'll open a new restaurant? Or do you think maybe he will, I don't know,
close the restaurant?
I think close the restaurant.
But why?
And after 40 days...
A job.
Find another job, maybe?
Yeah.
Okay, let's write it. So Clive closes his restaurant. Because remember, Lydia is at hospital because Lydia used to work with him, but now he doesn't have anybody to work with him. So maybe he can't run the restaurant on his own. So that's why maybe he has to close it, right? So he has to he closes the restaurant and the restaurant and gets a new job. What does he become? And he becomes a what? What do you think he'll become? A taxi driver? Selma, what do you think? I've got an idea. He closes his restaurant and falls in love with Eve King after he meets her in hospital while visiting his wife. What do you think? I think it's a nice ending of this episode.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So this is the idea here. It's about a story, and it's mainly about listening, soap operas. So let me show you our next lesson. Let me just quickly show you our next lesson. So in our next lesson, we'll talk mainly about phone messages, how to take phone messages, how to leave phone messages. Maybe this isn't very important for us now because we don't use the phone a lot like in the past. We use a lot of messages and voice recording, but this is the focus of the lesson. And we'll also talk a little bit about pronunciation. We will do some practice, some of the points here. I don't think we'll get here. Present continuous for future arrangement. Anyways, this is all for tonight. Thank you for your time. And I'll see you again on Sunday. Okay, so good night, everyone. And have a good weekend.
Good night.
You're welcome.
Good night.
Good night. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.